This video is going to contain leaks, because I find it super interesting. They've completely changed Ayato over the course of a couple of weeks, and I don't even know where he's going to end up. For me, he's gotten a lot better, and I just want to discuss what I'm seeing here, and I just think it's really cool. I didn't know that they could change units this much, or that they would change this much in the beta. But they've changed things from his weapon, his constellations, his passives. They've completely moved things and changed stats and got rid of stats. It's so cool. So I'm going to talk about Ayato in this video and what I see. All right? Enjoy. But first, a quick word from the coolest sponsor ever made, Hyundai. The brand new redesigned Hyundai Tucson. This video is sponsored by the brand new 2022 Hyundai Tucson.
Nathan Drake.
Not again.
Treasure hunting. Dirty business.
Mr. Drake, car's ready.
Thanks. See ya.
Introducing Nathan Drake and the Adventure Ready Tucson. See them both in Uncharted.
All right, so this was one of the big buffs the other day. They increased the scaling from 86 to 104, 91 to 116, and 96 to 128. Now, the duration on his E ability didn't change, but you can see that they upped the percentage of HP per stack from 0.87 to 1.11%. But that is per stack, and this thing goes up to like 4 or 5, right? So it's actually a bigger buff than you might think, getting that extra HP scaling. Now, the water illusion, or the clone damage, if you want to call it that, didn't seem to change. The duration didn't seem to change, but they removed this cooldown reduction thing, and they changed the cooldown from 20 seconds to 12 seconds, which I think is really cool. This is a buff in damage. This was a buff in usability for me, in my opinion. But this reduced cooldown thing, they have completely shifted Ayato and his burst ability now, his passive. They've completely changed the unit, and in my opinion, it's for the better. I think it's going to be a lot better. So these are all the beta changes here. So you're going to have to read this stuff here, but Constellation 2, Wave Flash's maximum stack increased to 5, and when Ayato has 3 stacks, his HP gets increased to 50%. It was 40% before, so they buffed his C2. Now, this is one of the biggest changes because it completely shifted how we're going to have to play and give energy to Ayato, and it probably changed his rotation. Most likely, what you're going to do is use your E ability, pop your burst, and then you're going to swap off Ayato as soon as you pop that burst, which you'd kind of expect. But the beautiful thing here is, when Ayato is not on the field, his energy is lower than 40, he will then regenerate 2 elemental energy per second. So he's got an 80 cost burst right now. He's essentially getting half of his burst back without any particles being added to him. Which is really, really interesting, because by the time you rotate back to Ayato, you put him back on the field, and you use his E ability, apparently his E ability generates like 7 water particles or energy particles. And so you're going to already have 40. You're going to swap to Ayato and get the rest of it and use his burst, and then rotate back out. It's like the perfect synergy. And this is his Ascension level passive, so this is built in. Now, his burst damage used to have 3% of his HP being added on his damage, which you're losing that. But honestly, I don't think I care. I think a lot of his damage is coming from his E ability and being in his E ability. And he's going to be freezing people, and he's going to be doing passive damage with that burst. I think I would rather not have to worry about his energy as much and give away this damage. I think it is probably also going to be made up for because there's going to be no downtime on that burst. He's always going to have energy, and the burst is going to be like on the field 24/7 with how long it is and the duration and the cooldowns. I really think that's going to be a big fix. Now, here's the other very interesting thing. So Ayato's burst, instead of giving an attack speed bonus, it says it boosts normal attack damage. And the duration has also been increased by 3 seconds, so they buffed how long the burst lasts. There's only a 2-second cooldown here on the burst, and how long it lasts. 18 seconds of Ayato's burst on the field? Think about that with Ganyu, right? Ice crystals, water, hitting all the time. This is insanity. But here's the other thing you have to think about. It used to have a passive that said it doesn't work for Ayato. But apparently that's gone. So did they just buff it as well because they have the duration, but also now the attack bonus or the normal attack damage bonus is impacting him? They just made it like twice as strong as it was. Okay, I lose some damage, right? I lose my 3%, but now my normal attacks in my E maybe are doing more damage. Because even by the time I rotate back to Ayato, his burst might still be on the field, and then I get that bonus. I think this is cracked. This is actually cracked. In my opinion, he's going to be a godly DPS. I've seen some of the numbers and like the theory crafted numbers. I think he's going to be crazy. And you know, even if his single target damage isn't as good as someone like Hu Tao, the area of effect from some of the footage that I've seen it's huge. Huge area of effect. It's like he's got 2 claymores attached to his arm. Really, really cool. So they removed the necessity to do all these basic attacks to reduce his cooldowns, but they also changed his weapon, where when a nearby party member uses elemental skills, the character equipped with his weapon will gain a wave spike stack. So before you had to do some normal attacks, which is kind of just a waste. You know, it just... None of those characters are going to be built for normal attack damage. You're essentially leaving them on field to get Ayato's cooldowns. It was just terrible. And then even synergizing to pair with this weapon, I'm not going to do a normal attack with my Bennett. I'm not going to do a normal attack with my Diona to stack up Ayato. No, I'm not doing that. And so they did buff this weapon, and it looks quite a bit better with this change. Throw in a quick, you know, Xingqiu E or a Bennett E, and you're going to start getting these stacks, which I think is really cool. Now, the other thing to think about is, you know, they did remove some HP scaling from his kit, so maybe the Jade Cutter got brought down a little bit, but I think overall, you know, whether you have the Jade Cutter or this new weapon, he's going to hit really hard. I don't know how close it's going to be, you know, final numbers, but I'm not too stressed about it right now. Also, they changed it from having 5 stacks and 8% per stack to 2 stacks, and you just get 20% each. So it's very easy to get like the maximum value here. I think that's pretty badass. Apparently, they've changed some of the base stats, which I don't know how much that matters long term. But apparently, the last buff, like next Monday, apparently that's always where they do like a lot of changes to their attack and their HP and all the final adjustments. But they're like reworking his kit, so it's pretty interesting what they've changed so far. But apparently with the changes, his attack was 285 before, now it's 299. I don't know how much that matters. They gave him a little bit more HP and a little bit less defense, which I don't think I'm worried about that much. You know, a lot of the comments are really positive. Next Monday, we should get a base attack buff. Props to miHoYo for what looks to be very good cohesion. I agree. They've made the kit so much better, in my opinion. I think that Ayato is going to be so sick now. And, you know, a lot of the clunky things that I was frustrated with, they fixed it. And then there's this comment here that I thought was really interesting. Lots of people on Twitter are crying about removing 3% HP scaling off the burst. It's literally useless. Have y'all seen the multipliers of the burst? This just makes the freeze team more viable if you're partnering him with Ayaka. And you know, even just the fact that he's getting the normal attack bonus and it's going to apply to him, nerfing the HP I don't think is that big of a deal because he's getting more value elsewhere. So I think this is going to be pretty cool. And, you know, yeah, Jade Cutter nerf. Jade Cutter is literally a gigantic stat stick that will remain one of his best in slots. I think Ayato has one of the most potential for just, like, using multiple weapons and doing well with it. I'm going to use the Jade Cutter. I'm not going to go for his weapon. I don't think it's... Not that it's not worth it, but I don't want to min-max him that bad. I just want to use him and abuse him. Apparently, the Heart of Depth artifact set is going to look really good on him still. Like... You can use a Gladiator set on him. He's super versatile. I can't wait to see more footage, and I want to see the official final product because I didn't know that they could change the kit this much. I had no idea. Like, from the beginning of the beta to now, he's not even the same unit, I would say. Like, if you looked at the two, they would function completely different multipliers, different value, different rotations, how you would play the character. And I was hyped before, and they've just made it better. In pretty much every fashion, they've made the character better and more appealing to me. So my excitement has gone through the roof. If all of this is legitimate, if all of it ends in game, I'm going to be a very happy Ayato main. And D-Luke, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're going on the bench for a bit, most likely. Or maybe I'll still use D-Luke, but I'm going to put Ayato and Ganyu together. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm feeling really optimistic about the future, and... yeah, I just wanted to chat about it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.